What's up everyone, it's Unsung NPC here with a new class video for you, the Slayer class. The Slayer class is definitely a crowd favorite. They're very powerful, very straightforward, very easy to use, and that makes them very popular. They're also pretty great at multi-classing, so it's a good starting foundation. High fortitude, high reflex, 2 highs, we like to see it, 10 HP, solid, full BAB, which is awesome, and a good array of skills: mobility, perception, athletics, persuasion, knowledge world, stealth, lore, nature. I mean, that's a lot of different kinds of skills. Very, very cool. Okay. Slayers are proficient in pretty much everything except heavy armor and tower shields. So, awesome. They get a thing called studied target. This is like the key ability for a Slayer, alright? So, an opponent that the Slayer can see, you can study them as a move action. You gain +1 to attack and damage, and the save DCs of any abilities or spells, if you're the spellcasting Slayer, anything like that, increases by 1. If you deal sneak attack to someone, because you do have 66 eventually of sneak attack, you will automatically study them, basically. Okay, you just hit them so good that you know everything about them. Alright? The bonus increases, eventually becomes +5s, and then at 7th level, you can study them as a swift action, which is really nice. It's cool that it starts as a move action instead of like a standard. And then getting to Swift pretty quickly is really good. Slayers advance. So once per day, you can increase your speed by 30 feet, and then your movement won't provoke attacks of opportunity. And then at 17th level, you can do this twice per day. This is very good for those melee Slayers. Very good for those melee Slayers. Not really that great for a ranged Slayer, but it is if you really need to get away without provoking attacks of opportunity. We also got Quarry. Okay, Quarry is that ranger ability. So basically, you, as a standard action, choose a target, +2 to attack rolls against that target, and all critical threats are automatically confirmed. So all crits are crits. Okay? And then Improved Quarry, you can now select as a free action, and it increases to +4s, which is very neat. So that +4 is going to be huge. Doing this as a free action is going to be really nice. It comes in pretty late, but that's okay. You also get Master Slayer, which does the whole fortitude save or they die ability that a lot of martial classes get, standard, right? You also get Slayer talents. Okay, Slayer talents. Some of these are similar to Rogue talents, and some of them are different. So we're going to go through, and any of them that are like Rogue talent ones, we're just gonna, you can see the Rogue video, we'll go through it, but I will show you the ones that are different. We are gonna go through the Slayer talents and look at the ones that are specific to Slayer, that you don't get from the Rogue class, okay? So we have combat style feat. Okay, so this works the way that Ranger combat feats work. So if you go to the Ranger video, you can see the different combat style feats. This works the same way. It's from those same selections. It's just you're a Slayer instead. Okay? Slayer camouflage. You can use the stealth skill to hide in any of your favorite terrains, even if the terrain doesn't grant cover concealment. Obviously, this is only going to be useful if you've been taking favored terrain talents. Trap finding. Gain trickery as a class skill. And then you gain the trap finding rogue ability, which gives you the bonuses against traps and to see traps, and you get it level per level. So that's really good. This is a really cool talent. I like to pick this one up because if you're already focusing on, if you're doing dex as a Slayer, like with mobility, stealth, that kind of stuff, you might as well take trickery just to have someone that can be really good at it. So Canny Observer is rogue, Fast Stealth is rogue, Focus attacks are rogue Iron Guts, rogue Jump Up, rogue Mystery Seeker, adds Knowledge Arcana to the list of class skills. I don't know if that's rogue or not. I don't remember, but that's cool. Knowledge Arcana, add it to your list. Slippery Mind, Slow Reactions, Survivalist, Trailblazer, Unbalancing Trick, gain Trip as a bonus feat, Uncanny Dodge, Underhanded, that's Dirty Trick, Weakening Wound, Blinding Strike, Confounding Blades, Crippling, Dispelling, Double Debilitation, Hunter Surprise, Improved Evasion, Improved Uncanny Dodge, Opportunist, Skill Mastery Knowledge, Lore, Stealth and Trickery, Wearying Strike, Painful Strike. This is a Slayer thing, alright? Not a rogue thing. So you do sneak attack and then they have to make a fortitude save or become sickened for 1d4 rounds. Vanguard Tactician Extra Use. This only works if you're a Vanguard. Also, Painful Strike, I believe, is for the Executioner, but they automatically gain it as an Executioner. So this is for all Slayers, and then Executioner gains Painful Strike for free. Combat Trick for a free combat feat, or a Familiar. So a lot of these are rogue. There's only a few that are specific to Slayer. And then these are the ones that are advanced talents. So you can't get this list until level 10. Okay? So you can take a look here. These are the ones that are level 10 only. Oh, Weapon Snatcher. That didn't show up before. Trickery check in place of a combat maneuver check when attempting to disarm someone. That's really cool. That's actually really cool because it means you can just focus on dex instead of like, because combat maneuver bonus is strength related, but this would allow you to just use dex for it because you're just using trickery. And if you take the trap finding right there, that would be really cool combination actually. I like that. I like that a lot. But yeah, combat style feats, right? So those are the different talents that a Slayer can do. This is like Slayer in a nutshell. They're pretty basic, pretty simple, okay? And their archetypes differ a little bit, but for the most part, they are still overall simple. And remember, they only get 66 sneak attack. You're gonna want that accomplished sneak attacker for that extra 1d6 to take you to 7d6, which you're still gonna be short, but it is what it is. Arcane Enforcer. So this one, you give up a Slayer's Advance, and you give up Quarry, Improved Quarry, and you gain Arcanist Exploits, okay? You get an Arcane Reservoir, alright? Which works the same way an Arcanist Reservoir works, okay? So it's 3 plus half your level, and you gain these Arcanist points. And then you get Arcanist Exploits, which uses, it says Arcanist Charisma, okay? And then you have greater exploits here. I don't really know. Let's take a look at the options for these because I don't think this is the entirety of the list. So let's take a look. So I was right. It is the full list of Arcanist Exploits, okay? You get the full list, and then eventually you get the greater exploits as well, which is these down here. We've gone over these in the Arcanist video, so you can check out for like a further deep dive on like what the Arcanist exploits are. If I were you though, like you gotta be careful which ones you choose because like, okay, some of these are not gonna matter. Potent Magic, you don't need Potent Magic because you can't cast spells. An Arcane Enforcer can still not cast spells. Therefore, useless. So you want ones that are going to be pretty useful to you. I like Spell Resistance and then Greater Spell Resistance. Okay? I like Dimensional Slide a lot. That's really nifty for like a full damage Slayer to have. Wow. Armored Mask. Oh, benefits of Mage Armor with the caster level is equal to your Arcanist level. So it's Mage Armor without using Mage Armor. That's kind of cool. Arcane Barrier. And you've got these different little like elemental attacks. Shadow Veil would be really nice, because it gives you concealment like Blur plus 5 stealth. So that's actually pretty nice. And you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these. So pick wisely. Pick wisely. But overall, not terrible. I mean, you're giving up Slayer's Advance and Quarry. So if you're a melee Slayer at all, I wouldn't recommend doing this. But some of these Arcanist exploits are really cool. So if there's any of those that you want to mess with, go for it. Deliverer. Deliverer gives up 2 talents for 2 special abilities. That's basically it. So here's how Deliverers work. They are like religious Slayers, kind of, okay? So you attack an opponent whose alignment is at least 2 steps away from you, okay? So if lawful good attacked chaotic good or lawful evil, those are 2 steps away, because in the grid of 9, lawful good's here, go 2 steps, dun dun, chaotic good, 2 steps, dun dun, lawful evil. Okay, you can even do chaotic evil, but it just basically anyone that's not lawful good, neutral, or lawful neutral can all be hit. So any chaotic and any evil can be devastated. That's an example though. It works with that way with any alignment. You don't have to be lawful good. Okay, you get +2 will saving throws against those abilities, and you gain Die Hard feat as well. So that's whenever you attack. Okay, that's whenever you attack them on any round. Okay, and then you've got Divine Anathema, which is basically if the target alignment is 2 steps away, again, your attacks deal an additional 2d6 points of damage, which comes from divine power. Okay, so you're kind of getting these special abilities towards specific alignments. I guess you don't really have to be religious, but like it makes more sense if you're religious. So I think what's cool about this though is for this campaign, if you're planning on playing a lawful character at all, I feel like Deliverer just really sets you up for the whole campaign, because everyone you fight's going to be chaotic. Either chaotic evil, chaotic neutral. There are some neutral evils in there, but mostly chaotic evil, chaotic neutral enemies. So you'd be able to, you know, really do some extra damage and get some bonuses against all of those enemies, which is really, really nice. And the +2 to will save is also really good, because will saves are low for Slayers. So I think this to me, if you are lawful, okay, is Slayer plus. If you're any other alignment, this shit sucks. It's not going to do anything for you. You're not ever going to get these bonuses. You're better off keeping your Slayer talents. If you're lawful, Slayer plus. If not, don't mess with it. Executioner. Okay, Executioners are ruthless killers, alright? They're very good at killing and dealing damage and pain. So you lose 1 talent and Quarry, and improved Quarry, okay? And you gain Focus Killer, which is your steady target bonuses and DCs of saving those against your abilities increased by 1 extra for humanoid opponents, but decreased by 1 for non-humanoid targets. This archetype does not do well after like Act 2 of the game is over, because up through Act 2 you fight a lot of like regular human cultists, right? So humanoids will get the shit rocked, which is really cool. But then after that, when you get past Dresden, it all goes downhill, because pretty much everyone you start to fight is demon this, demon that, demon this, demon that, and those are not humanoids. So Focus Killer won't be that useful. Executioner as a whole won't be that useful for you in this campaign particularly. Painful Strike, if they take sneak attack damage, they have to make a fortitude save or become sickened. It's not good, because fortitude saves are huge against these enemies, especially demons, okay? And then you you gain Assassinate, okay? So at 10th level, you can your stunning target opponents in an attempt to instantly kill them. This ability can only be used out of combat, and the target must not see the Executioner for it to work, okay? It's kind of like a ranged coup de grace. And then, whenever an Executioner kills an enemy with Assassinate, all other enemies become demoralized at 14th level, and at 19th level, whenever an enemy survives an Assassinate attempt, it still suffers 2d6 bleed damage, okay? So, Focus Killer really is the only one that doesn't pay off the entire game. These other two abilities work on non-humanoids. You can assassinate anybody. It doesn't have to be a humanoid, okay? It's just Focus Killer that isn't going to do as well afterward, but it is, you know, really good for the beginning part of the game. So maybe this isn't something you'd want to completely throw the option out the window of, because there are some parts of it that I think are pretty good. I like Quarry and improved Quarry a lot. They're a little bit more consistent for me. But if you can do Assassinate successfully, then, I mean, that's pretty big. Like, it just says it's an attempt to kill them. I don't know what it uses as like a DC. Oh, I guess it's a coup de grace, so if your coup de grace doesn't kill them, then they're just hurt. But because coup de grace doesn't always kill, it depends. It depends. It just does a lot of damage to give you an increased chance of killing, but it's not a guaranteed kill. So, I mean, Assassinate is pretty good. I'll give you that. But it only works outside of combat, so you're going to get one per combat, basically, because everyone else is going to start fighting. But then at 14th level, they all become demoralized. There's a lot of pros and cons with this one. I'm very torn. I'm very torn up about this archetype. It's okay. It's okay. It's not garbage. It's not something that I would consider to be super, super swell. But it's okay. Next is the Imitator. This is the human racial archetype. Okay? The human racial archetype. It looks like you lose a lot of stuff. You lose you lose study target. You lose half your sneak attack, 3 talents, and Slayer's Advance. And instead, you gain Imitation. An Imitator can imitate the martial class style, which allows him to take Fighter, Barbarian, Rogue, or Monk stance for 1 minute, a number of times per day, equal to your intelligence modifier, plus half your Slayer level. But yeah, so the Imitator, you lose a lot, but you gain those stances as like different options, and you can use them quite a number of times, like quite a bit, which all give you different bonuses and different fighting styles. So it's kind of a more adaptable thing, which is the typical human thing, right? Is being adaptable. So, Imitator. Is it the best? I don't think so. I don't think the trade-off is 100% worth it, but I mean, if you're into it, you're into it. Spawn Slayer. Okay, Spawn Slayer. I love Spawn Slayer, especially in this game. And in Kingmaker, but especially in this game. You lose Study Target as a swift action, which in my opinion, not that big of a deal, because you're mainly going to start getting those from sneak attacks instead anyway. You're not really going to try to activate it yourself as often, okay? You get Studied Spawn. So basically, every few levels, every handful of levels, it's 5, right? 5, 10, 15, 20. You increase to larger and larger creatures. So at 5th level, if the target is large or larger, you get an additional 1 for your study target bonuses. At 10th level, if it's huge or larger, 2 additional bonus. 15th, if it's gargantuan or larger, 3, and 20th, if it's colossal or larger, or colossal in size, then it's a 4 additional. Okay? So, like, are you really gonna get to colossal? I mean, I don't know. I don't really know. But there's a lot of different huge ass demons in this game, and if you can get increased bonuses, like take this beyond 5, just because they're big, that's so huge to me. I like it a lot. And then at 7th level, you gain leverage. So when performing a combat maneuver against these larger targets that are studied, okay, you get a bonus on the check of combat maneuver bonus based on the size. So +1 large, +2 huge, +4 gargantuan, +8 colossal. And then you add the same bonus to your defense against maneuvers from those different targets. So it's just, you're an expert at killing giant big ass things. And there are so many giant big ass demons that you can take them down with this. I think Spawn Slayer is Slayer plus across the board. All you give up is study target as a swift action to get all of these bonuses. And it's not that useful anyway, because again, you're gonna take those study targets through sneak attack passively. You're not even really gonna try, like, you should be trying to sneak attack as much as possible. You don't need to activate it on your own, okay? I love this archetype. This is my favorite Slayer archetype for sure. I love it. I think it's great. And yeah, really solid. Really fucking solid. Definitely Slayer plus. Stygian Slayer, okay? Let's see what you lose here. You lose some proficiency, you lose 2 talents. Okay? Your proficiencies are light armor and weapons only, no medium armor, no shields. You're kind of a little bit more roguey. That's kind of the idea that they're going for, roguey, right? You gain invisibility. You use your Slayer as you can use it once per day, and then additional times per day at 8th level and every 4 levels thereafter. So you just get like a free invisibility ability, which is pretty cool. And then you get shadowy mist form. So you become incorporeal. So you can't attack, but you can use this a number minutes per day equal to your level. These minutes need not to be consecutive, but must be used in 1 minute increments. Okay, so basically they can't hit you, but you also can't be hit. That's kind of how it works. This is kind of a I'm God ability, which I think is pretty cool. I like it. I mean, Stygian Slayer is solid. I think you're giving up a couple talents, and you're just becoming a little bit more roguey. Invisibility, shadowy mist form, being able to hide and stab. So if you're going for that more rogue type Slayer, I think this is the archetype for you. And then next is the Vanguard. Okay, the Vanguard gives up 2 talents for some teamwork stuff. Basically, you get Vanguard Tactician, so you receive a teamwork feat as a bonus feat, okay? And then once per day as a standard action, you can grant all your allies this teamwork feat, essentially. 3 rounds plus 1 round for every 2 levels you possess, okay? They don't have to meet the prereqs for the feat, only you do. You're solid, okay? You get that bonus teamwork feat. Vanguard Bond. As a move action, you can choose one of your study targets and grant half that bonus from that study target to all your allies as well, okay? I do think it's a bummer that you only gain 1 teamwork feat for free, but you do have the option to take other teamwork feats through leveling up your feats and other things like that, so it's not that big of a deal. Like if you wanted to do teamwork feats for your basic feats and then use style feats to get those different combat feats that you wanted on top of that, then you could get everything that you needed. And then you can grant these feats to everyone, and then you can also grant half your bonus to everyone, which, you know, at base is going to be it's going to be 2. I think, is it round down? Is it 2? It's either going to be 2 or 3, whether it rounds down or up. But that's still a good chunk of bonus against everybody. So that's pretty cool. Like, again, like, none of these archetypes really take that much away except for Imitator. So you really can't go wrong, okay? Like, Arcane Enforcer is just if you want to do some arcane shit. Deliverer is if you're lawful. If you're a lawful slayer, just take Deliverer, do yourself a favor. Executioner, if you really want to utilize that Assassinate, honestly, not terrible. Okay, Imitator, debatable. Spawn Slayer, Slayer Plus, absolutely. Stygian Slayer, if you want to be more roguey as a Slayer, more Hidden Shadows rogue, this is the archetype to go for. And Vanguard is if you really are into teamwork feats. If you're into teamwork feats, this is the one. Also, just so you guys know, there is a feat that you can take called Defensive Study, where you use your... Basically, whenever you do Study Target, you also gain a bonus to AC equal to your Study Target bonus against that target that you study. So just know that that feat is available, and all you have to do is have Study Target, and then you can take Defensive Study, so that you're good. So that's totally an option that you should take. I think it'd be really useful if you're a melee slayer. If you're a range slayer, probably not going to be as good, but if you're a melee slayer, very, very useful for you. So, yeah, that is the Slayer. I hope you guys all learned something, enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like, subscribe, and stick around to check out other videos coming out. We only have a few more left of these base classes before we get into prestige classes, so we're making our way. I like it though, it's fun. Yeah, if you want to talk game, this game or any other game, feel free to join the Discord, and heck yeah, I am Unsung NPC, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.